Hello and welcome to another Heavensward guide. Today we're looking at Ravana. This is the first Primal you'll get to face off against as part of a main scenario storyline in Final Fantasy XIV Heavensward. This video is to demonstrate the understanding of various mechanics to be aware of during the fight and ultimately how to beat him. So Ravana is situated in the centre of this circular pad suspended above a deep cavernous pit. For story reasons you'll find out yourself. As you might imagine, this fight has the implication of falling off said platform, which many of his abilities actually incorporate. The story version of this fight, and the one I'm showing here, is hard mode, and this is only available on hard mode or extreme mode at 60. Yet don't let this put you off, he's not too much to fear if you follow these very simple mechanics. The first thing to talk about is Bloodlust. This is a passive ability on Ravana where he stacks a damage buff. When this reaches 100, he is able to use various other abilities. So let's look at his abilities used in the first phase. Firstly, Prelude to Slaughter. This is time based. When Ravana reaches 100 Bloodlust, he will perform Prelude to Slaughter. This move puts out a series of AoEs to avoid on the platform, notably one large main one, a pattern of avoidable fire with safe spots to stand in, like little holes, and an AoE that covers the entire platform aside from the center safe spot. Be sure to get into this rhythm as every Prelude to Slaughter follows this exact same rule and pattern, so it's fairly easy once you get the first time. After the Prelude comes the actual Slaughter ability. This is another series of AoEs, one of which is a frontal and directly behind him two-way line that happens at the same time. This incorporates a knockback. This doesn't do any significant damage, but if it's used later on in the fight you could be thrown off said platform, for obvious reasons. The next ability during this Slaughter phase is the placement of 2 purple arrows above 2 random party members. This is a spread mechanic, and these 2 players will need to go to 2 separate parts of the platform on the far edges, as far apart from each other as possible. The arrows fade and a large purple AoE is dropped from each player. The rest of the raid will have to move from these circles as soon as possible before they explode to avoid extra damage. At about 60% health, adds will spawn on the platform as well. These adds are like Ifrits, if you remember that fight, as in they need to be prioritatively killed before Ravana casts his next ability, which is his ultimate Gahandras, which is where Ravana will raise players into the air and do a large scale explosion of damage. The amount of damage it does is based on how many adds are left up. If there are more than 3 adds alive, then you're pretty much dead. If less than that, you're okay basically. They're not too hard, they're not got too much health, and I believe you've got 80 seconds to actually kill them all before the ability is cast. Phase 2 then is a little different. Since his last ultimate, parts of the pillar have been shattered, leaving huge gaps in the walls. All of the other abilities mentioned in Phase 1 take place here, apart from the Prelude to Slaughter, but everything else, basically the huge AoEs, everything like that, but everything based on the Bloodlust mechanic is only in Phase 1. The only additional abilities are if you get a purple orb above your head, you need to spread like Phase 1's arrow marks. Basically the same ability with the explosion drop. You don't want to be stood in this, and you don't want to be stood on each other because it will stack the damage. The only other thing you have to worry about is occasionally during this phase the boss will cast a huge pushback AoE called the Pillars of Heaven. If you're not situated so you get blown into a wall on the side of the platform, you will obviously be thrown off. Much like our tank here. Yes, that was a bit annoying. All in all, it's an exciting fight, and I really like the mix-up of abilities we've experienced in previous fights and other Primals. It's going to be even more exciting on Extreme when I get to that at 60. I'm really looking forward to that. Let me know if you've liked the video and what you're looking forward to most, and I will definitely see you next time.